So hello everyone. In this video we'll be discussing on how do you fill your application form for your Scopy exchange application in a quicker and so that it is more convenient for you all. So what we can do initially is that we go to the Scopy outgoing application call website, the link of which has been sent on the group already, and then on this page we go to documents. Once we go to the documents, you can see these various documents which could be entered. Now, before actually going to that, I'll suggest you to look into this document named Scopy Manual for Application Call. So you can download this and you can read it and refer to it uh, while filling the form so that it is easier to for you to note what you have to write down in the application form and what not. It is a very good manual which will help you a lot. Now, however, I'm also making this video for your convenience, so you can download various documents from this page. And as of now, in this video, we'll be discussing about the application form. So, this is the application form. Now you have to click on download PAF, by which the application form will get downloaded automatically. But however, for some people it might not get downloaded directly, and it might open the form directly, and in such a case you can't directly edit that form, and you should not request edit access for that form. You should necessarily download the form and then edit it for yourself. Okay, so basically preferably don't click on this, by which it will open it in the Google Docs. uh, so what you should do is you have to download the form as I've told, and if it is not getting downloaded directly and if it is getting opened into Google Docs, what you have to do is make a copy of the same on your Google Docs, that is your Google Drive, or otherwise you download the form, whichever is convenient for you, and then you edit it using your Google Docs or using your Microsoft Office Word, either in your phone or in your laptop, whatever is convenient for you. And again, for Android users on Google Chrome, you can long press and click open incognito tab, or for some users you also have an option called uh, open new tab in group. So you can do either of those, so it will get downloaded into your phone. Okay, so now what we can do is, since it has been already downloaded when I was talking, so I can go to the downloads folder and I'll open this form. I'll open it in Microsoft Office Word, because that's the word processor which is there in my laptop. So I'm just hoping it to open quickly. So yes, it has opened. Now we'll start right from the beginning, that it is the application form, correct? So here it's written code. So if you read it properly, it's for office use only. So basically you don't have to write anything there. Okay, then we'll go question one by one. For example, first question is, do you currently hold or have previously held any post in IFMSA or MSAI? So it can be anything, any post, either a local officer or in the national team of MSA, or any position in IFMSA, and then you can add it. So for example, I'll as a disclaimer, I'll tell that this form which I'm filling is for now, only for this for the purpose of this tutorial, and whatever I'll be writing does not necessarily relate to me or associate with me or anyone else in particular. So however, I can just write, for example, uh, Lori, that is the local officer for SCORI. You can either write the full form or the short form, whichever is fine for you, and then you can write MSAI because it's an MSAI post, right? Uh, and you can write term as whatever the term was. So those who have been in held any post in MSA or IFMSA, you already know what was your term. So for example, I'll write September 2022 to August 2023, just for example. And or otherwise I can write new MS MSAI and whatever the term was, just you can also just write 2022 2023, that will also suffice. Now for the I'll again request you to keep the manual which I showed you on the Scopy website side by side, so you know what you have to type in and what you have to what documents you should be keeping as the proof. So as far as your MSCI posts are concerned, if you have already if your term was as already finished, it's preferable that you submit the term completion certificate. And if you have been selected as the local officer or any post for this current term, you can submit the application the appointment letter as the proof. Now, one doubt people ask me is that where do we submit the documents? Do you submit it here or what? So no, you don't have, you can't submit it here, right? So what you have to do is like, uh, there is a separate section in your application submission package form which asks for proofs. There you have to submit your proofs as PDF. Okay, proofs as PDF. Mind my words, okay, and not this application form or CV. And then the questions per se are very self-explanatory, but I'll go through each question or a group of questions similarly. For 2, 3, and 4, it's basically any past MSCI events that you have been a participant of, or either volunteer or organized. Okay, so you can just write, for example, there was an event for medical students named Drop the Door 3.0, just for an example. It could be probably 27th August 2022, city Mumbai. So SC stands for standing committee. So it could be either of your standing committees, or it could be any unit of MSCI as well. So it could be, for example, this was for of SCOMI. So you can write SCOMI, or you can write SCORI, or sorry, either SCOMI or SCORA or SCOF or SCORP, or it could be the bioethics unit, or it could be medical students for choice unit. So either of the units or standing committee, whatever was the event of, you can write that, and you can write the certificate reference number. This number is basically shown on your certificate which is given to you for participating or volunteering or organizing, and it is sent over to you on email. Now certificates till July 2022 are mostly sent, so please check your email including your spam to check what all certificates you have received. And if you haven't received any certificate yet by mistake, by any chance, so you can directly email the vice president for activities of MSCI on email vpa@msaindia.org. Okay, you can ask for it. except for there's an exception of requirement for certificates which is for August 2022. That is, it's okay if certificates for August 2022 events are not there, but do make sure that you mention the event name, date, city, and standing committee correctly. And for reference number, you can keep it blank or write NA. Okay, so that, and during the evaluation, it will be asked to the respective national officers to check the database, and it would be uh, verified. So don't worry about that. And this is to reiterate that only events done till 31st of August 2022 are valid for application in your exchange applications. September events are not considered. Uh, and those who have downloaded a previous version of this AF, probably there might have been a typo here, but please do make sure to understand that it is events only till 31st of August 2022 are allowed, are should be mentioned. And lastly, for this and for anything else, I would like to reiterate very strictly that uh, false or fake certificates or forged proofs or anything, any fake proof or forged proof submitted will disqualify you for this exchange application, and you will be blacklisted for the further calls and for the further calls of applications as well. So please do not engage in immoral practices and unethical practices. Okay, so these are the two, three, four questions which are similar. Now for questions from question 5 onwards, uh, I won't discuss in details, because if you have been in any of this, you will know because of your participation in that, because these are like, big events. So you already know what has to be done. So for example, just for an example, the NWM 2022 is upcoming in Hyderabad. So you can put the relevant date. Now again, NWM is just an example. It's coming in October, so of course it's you can't mention that. But for that matter, you can mention the NGA which happened a few months back, and you can mention the date or the dates and the city respectively. Okay, and then again for this you have to submit appropriate proofs, so and the list of the same has been given in the manual. Then enlist your experience as a member of IFMSA or MSAI India delegation for international meets. Again, you can write basically the event name here, for example, WHO meet or something. And if it was an IFMSA delegation or MSAI delegation, in this, semi-col half of the column, and then date and city and country. Then, if you have, participant at activities fair or nomination for X Crossley Awards, you have to mention the name of the General Assembly or the RM. So, RM is basically regional meet. So, for us, we have like regional meets like APRM, that is Asia Pacific Regional Meet, and the particular activity or campaign and the relevant details of the same. And then similarly, if you have attended or organized any, 8 and 9 is about attending and organizing respectively for any of the general assemblies or regional meets like APRM or any national general assembly or national workshop meet. So you have to mention the event and the standing committee. For example, if you are uh, attending the SCORI walk, just for an example, the national workshop meet is upcoming in October, which is going to be held in Hyderabad, and I encourage you all to do surely, register. Currently, the early bird registrations are ongoing. So please, I'll suggest you, because it will awesome workshops and something worth learning are going to be there, but not going out of the topic of this. So just for example, if you have attended NWM, and if in that you can attend a workshop of one committee, right? So for example, there is a workshop Cradle to Grave for in NWM Hyderabad, NWM 2022. So you have to mention NWM. You can write SC as Cora, because Cradle to Grave I'm talking about. So you can write Scora, the date, the dates I would say, or and the city and country. For example, in this case, Hyderabad, India, etc. Now, I needless to say, the last column of each question is for office use only, so you don't have to mention anything. Okay, and so 9 and 10 are done. So 8 and 9 are done. 10 is again IFMS or MSAI training that you have received, except exchange training if any. So again you will know. And again for the training sessions that you have conducted, all except Scopy or and Scori. Again, if you have attended such a training, you will know what it is. Okay, then about 12 is about small working groups of standing committees other than Scopy and Score. So basically, for any event, for for executing a event, a certain planning goes into developing all the material, etc. So in MSCI we have this small working groups to develop a particular event, or other things as such. So for so in this case, small working groups are formed. So if you have worked in such a small working group, but for question number 12, it's other than Scopy and Scori. That is for any of the other four standing committees or any of the units. Uh, then you can mention the name of the small working group. For example, there was one call opened about research training. So you can write the name of it and whether you were a coordinator or a member, and then the date and what was the level of the event. For example, if you, MSAI also promotes the promotes the execution of local events. For example, local events are that which you can devise, you can and execute and plan at a local level. Basically, it's a event which you yourself devise right from the scratch. And so it could be a local event or it could be a national event. Basically, national events are those which you conduct after filling the DAF. But yeah, small working groups are formed before that. So national level or an international level whatsoever. And then if you have contributed towards MSI or MSAI or IFMSA or any other standing committee publications, then you have to write the article title, date of publication, and whatever it is, like whether it's of MSI or MSAI or of any particular standing committee, and then link to the publication. And that publications article, you have to and then the next section in this AF is workforce copy. So if you are from a college that accepts incoming students for Scopy or Scori, you have to write yes. So basically, if other people, from people from other countries come to your college and have a experience, professional experience or research experience, sorry, exchanges and experience in your college for a period of 4 weeks or whatever, then it is a yes. Otherwise, no. Okay. So if your college is accepting, you will probably know that. And if you don't know, it's better to ask your Leo or Lori. And which for our college, for GSMC, we don't accept income students as of now. So you should write no for the students of GSMC. And then, for have you ever been a contact person? and then you can write the name of the order details, name of the incoming, month of exchange, the particular Leo or Lori because it's Scopi or Scori, and whether you're the primary or the secondary CP. So if you have been, you already know what is primary, secondary, and etc. But since GSMC does not accept, it's not active, Scopi active or Scori active medical college, so all these questions stand nullified as of now, but just hoping. So, and then question 16 is about other incoming students that you have hosted, if any. So basically, sometimes when you have a national social program, you could host a student probably for for the accommodation or whatsoever, even if you are not the CP. In such a case, you have to write the name of the student here in the first half column, then whether there was copy or scory, then month of exchange, and then duration, date and duration, uh, dates and duration you can say, or and the incomings country from where he, she, or they has been coming, and your city. Again, now this could be applicable for some of you if you have hosted in students, because it does not need act college to be Skopje or Skori active. And then 17 is about letter of thanks of appreciation. Now for this, again, if you have done, you will already know. But for this, you don't have to submit a proof right now. The proof for the same will be asked for on a later date. And then enlist the local committees and college that you have worked towards and succeeded in Skopje exchange activation. Now, as talking as of GSMC, it is not Skopje exchange active, but so this question is not valid for most of you, but I really encourage all of you to contribute in activating our college for Scopy and Scori, so that we could accept incoming students and they have the wonderful experience, clinical experience and research experience, and so that we really stay true to our motto of non CB sed omnibus. Never mind. So going forward, again, question 19 is about exchange small working groups. So basically, those the question previously which I stated, which was probably question number 12. Yes. So it was about any other small working group other than the exchanges. But if it is an exchange small working group, basically anything related to Skopje and Skori, and if it was related to Scora exchange, Scorp exchange, which is known as GoScorp, or a SCOF exchange, that is public health exchange, that is PHEX. So even though these three are exchanges of those particular committees, so if there you have been any part of small working group of any exchange, and then if you speak any foreign language fluently is your 20th question. Now please mind that a language certificate will be required for any foreign language. Now English, you don't have to mention English as a foreign language, okay? uh, Basically other any other foreign language, and for that you will have to submit a language certificate for the same. uh, it could be of any standard licensing or certifying company or organization. Then if you have organized or attended any PDT or UAT or scope induction sessions as 21 and 22, basically it's that PDT is pre-departure training if you have attended previously. UAT is upon arrival training. Basically, if you have been on exchange, first you will have, like, before you will have pre-departure training, and once you reach the host country, you'll have upon arrival training, and then scope induction sessions. Basically, if you have introduced and explained what exchanges to other students and taken a session as such, you have to mention uh, 21. And for 22 is just if you have attended a PDT. You don't have to mention if you have attended a scope induction session. And then 23 is exchange session team member. 24 is copy sessions that you have attended at GA, RM, NGA, or NWM. Uh, yeah. Uh, so in even in MWM we do have basically Scopy and Scori related exchange workshop. So again, like there have been so in the NGAs and the NWMs of the past as well. So you can put that accordingly. Then 25, 26 again, like for 26 basically like whether your college is active in Scopy and Score exchanges, but this is just for XSC, Ghost Corp and Public Health Exchange. So you have to mention it here. Now to explain that a local committee is basically your college, okay? So, and then have you presented or won at an exchange fair? Then exchange experience. So if you have been on exchange previously, then you have to fill this two questions. And please be honest about if there were any cancellation or substitution, because for every application the name would be cross checked with the database, and if you have failed to mention your previous cancellation or substitution, your application will be invalid. And then lastly, the motivation question will be now, like these are motivation questions, is basically the questions are self-explanatory and you can be very genuine and honest, but please answer the questions in 3 to 5 lines only. Don't write in one vague line, or also don't write big paragraphs for the same, preferably. And again, like I can't tell you what you answer, because it is your personal thought process which by which you will answer. And then lastly, you don't have to fill this last point conversion table, it is for officials only. And then once you have filled, okay, you save, don't forget to save, okay. And then uh, what I will it's still saving. So in the meanwhile, I'll reiterate that the AF and the CV has to be compulsorily in Word document, that is .doc or .docx format. So see your .docx, and it has to be within 1 MB. So please make sure that it is in the Word format, because you can't submit PDFs for your AF and your CV. And then basically you just rename it, for example you have to write AF and in bracket your name. So for me I'll write just AF Pauras, and that's done. And then you move to your to a location. Preferably I'll suggest to make a folder of all the final documents, so that you can have everything at one place while filling your application submission form. So with this, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and listening patiently.